to the ocean floor, fading light through an open door. Saw myself rise with the water. They thought they could keep me down, hold that breath and watch me drown, but all they did was push me higher. We don't care what they say, we will be here all day. We'll stay here till it's over, till the world's out of sight. We will stand, we will fight, it's not over till it's over. Through the nights in the rain, through the time and the pain, the stand will never fall. And then at the end of it all, we will win, we will chant, it's not over till it's over.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game 3 of this best of 5 series between Cloud9 Eclipse and Departed. It does seem like Cloud9 Eclipse are going for an early invade right now. I am Spuddington, joined once again by Nature, who is going to be my co-caster for today and will maybe be narrating the death of Perm if he walks any further forward.
Perm just doing one step out of that brush. I'm not sure whether he was spotted. I believe so. So they know he is there. Hulite just missing death with an inch because he would have gone down if he walked into that brush that the entire C9 team is standing in at this point. And IQ in that middle lane is probably going to be alright. And we do have Oduamna, I believe, who has started to recall. Getting a little bit anxious here that he is not going to hit the minions if he doesn't get back in time. But Cloud9 have started to run out of the brush, and it seems like that they are going to be able to steal this blue buff.
The fact that they don't see anyone right now is going to make this very interesting. If Kikis walks into this brush. Oh god!
And he does walk into it. Great grasping roots coming out of the Zyra. First blood going over to Cloud9.
That's an awkward way. That's not a good way of starting your game off there. Oduamne actually did manage to recall out and will be able to just join up with the rest of with the minions when they get there. Shen won't be getting too much of an advantage in that. So Kikis may actually be put into a situation here where he's only going to get one of the 3 buffs because he actually died in this situation, rather than what you usually get with an invade where you see it coming, you're forced to go through a particular jungle route, and you obviously therefore have some opportunities to do well. But I'm a little bit surprised to say at this game, we are seeing a 2-on-2 matchup with a Vayne pickup, which is unusual, but I guess she just feels confident that she can deal with the relatively weak early pressure from a Zyra pick.
Yeah, of course, she does have the extra crowd control coming out of Perm, and as you said, the Zyra is relatively squishy, so they could be, well, try to hang in there with their crowd control, with the tankiness that the Thresh provides, but could be hard for them as well in that bottom lane. Looking over towards that middle lane, Febiven and NIQ facing off, of course, the I believe the kill was picked up after the Zed was picked up, so that means that they are just going to use that one as a soft counter, because the intervention is always nice to have against a death mark. So it's probably going to be a race of whoever hits level 6 first.
Yeah, if Zed does hit level 6 ahead of Kale, he will instantly be looking for an opportunity to all in if he possibly can. That can actually backfire because it can be predictable and you can counter gank him when he does that, but regardless, it's going to be a difficult lane until 6 for Zed regardless. He's going to have to farm mostly with his abilities, and Kale will put down some poke whenever she can. But Ku just found Kikis in the jungle. It does look like Ku is going to be the one who walks out and takes jungle camps now.
Yeah, he is starting to move towards that jungle camp of Kikis's, which could be bad, of course, for Kikis, who only has 1 buff at this point. Ku right now finishing off the large wraith. Kikis is going to spot him out, throwing out some of those hate spikes, and in goes Ku. That is a little bit too much damage for Kikis, but Kikis looking to turn this one around. Flash comes out of Ku, and here is NIQ to help Kikis out if needed. Ku really needs to be careful here, and Kikis doesn't quite manage to find him. Here's Febiven looking to close Kikis off, or to finish him off as he goes down. Febiven picking up 1 kill, but here is Ku once again to help him out. Great taunt coming out of Babunia. That is going to keep NIQ alive for now, but not for too long, as Oduamna picks him up in the end. Now Babunia looking to finish Oduamna off. Oduamna desperately trying to run for his life. Rune Prison comes out. Babunia will have his taunt up right now, meaning he does manage to hit it. Oduamna takes a little bit of damage. Babunia with the red buff might be able to finish him off.
The slowest kill ever.
Very, very long. But in the end, Babunia doesn't manage to pick him up.
On the bright side for Babunia, though, he is going to get a lot of XP from this wave here. And he also got the double buff, so he's going to be pretty happy when he gets back to lane. No real effect on the bottom lane, and overall, that was a 3 for 2 in the favor of C9. So, not ideal, because Kikis in particular is starting to look really raggedy. 0-2, and it's only 5 minutes in.
That is not quite what you want in this game. As NIQ is pushing out that middle lane, Febiven being forced to farm under his turret, but I think he's going to be all okay with that. But Ku could be looking for a kill around towards NIQ. NIQ speeding himself up, but there is a lot of damage coming down from Febiven and Ku. Kikis could be here to help. Puts out some of those hate spikes, but he is quite low on levels, so is Ku, but Ku has a lot of damage. Once again, heal coming out of NIQ. Here's Babunia to turn the tides if needed, and then down goes Q. NIQ manages to turn this one around.
And again, Ku there, making the mistake of over-pursuing. This is what lost them the game that we saw in Game 2. Because it got Vayne very, very fed as a result of over-pursuing and then getting caught out by support from the team. Arguably, Odoamne should have went with his team, but the problem was he can't chase into Blind Fog against Babunia, who is just stronger than him right now with the buffs.
Babunia right now trading in that top lane against Odoamne, and Odoamne, as you said, could be having a little bit of trouble with this one. Babunia just healing up with all the Vorpal blades. And of course his key strike, and there's a taunt on towards Odoamne. Odoamne taking a little bit more damage, and down he goes. Babunia is on a killing spree.
And this was probably why they were confident in playing that matchup into a Rise. Perm is in trouble though. Stan United!
Oh, Stan United comes down. This could be enough to turn this one around. Yordle Snap Trap comes out. Perm gets stopped by the Yordle Snap Trap, and that was probably just him stepping on that one to clear it out. Stan United, that was a good move to save Perm.
Yeah, it saved Perm, although it will mean now that Babunia is going to be trapped in that top lane in the same way as Odoamne, which is going to weaken his team's ability to take Dragon. They should be able to push it out and go for it anyway, but it won't matter because there's another fight.
Yeah, here's the death sentence on towards Voidal. Takes too much damage for his liking. Goes down. Kick is picking up that kill. He does still have the passage. NIQ takes some damage from that one, but he will be able to survive it as he does manage to pick up the kill right now. Yarnan, the new focus of Kikis. Kikis still going at it. Yarnan really needs to get out of this, but Kikis is very, very low as well. Piltover Peacemaker comes out to finish off Kikis, overstaying his welcome.
Straight up forgot about barrier there, so that's going to cost Kikis even more. He's picked up a kill now, so he's 1 and 3. That's still not a good early score, and it means Ku is very free to go for these big invades, these big chase downs in the jungle, but that can backfire in the long run because we've seen him over pursue Evelyn a couple of times now. He is probably going to learn from his mistakes though, so that won't be a problem in the long run. And C9 are still doing pretty okay, but I would say Woolite is doing almost alarmingly well in this bot lane. It's been quiet, there's been no real kills, but he's picked up almost equal CS.
That is always good on a Vayne. Meanwhile, that middle lane Kikis being sent on defensive duties to make sure that turret doesn't go down, as NIQ will be rejoining his lane. Now we do see Febiven rotating over towards that top lane to maybe make something happen on towards Babunia here, who does have a taunt and is always a little bit dodgy to dive. He is trying to get out of that turret range for now to make sure that the Cloud9 members don't get a grasp on towards him. Taunts in there, and he makes sure that he is able to defend that turret. Febiven, however, alongside Odoamne could be in trouble here. Kick is coming in there. Ignite has landed on towards him. Agony's Embrace comes in. Kick is still chasing on towards Odoamne. Deathmark comes down on Babunia, but the intervention will be enough to save him from that. Taunt comes down on Febiven, and he will almost instantly get deleted, but that is a huge living shadow to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but in the end, he did go down.
It was very, very smart living shadow. Oh, damn they.
Odoamne could be in real trouble, but he does manage to get a Rune Person down on Kikis, and Kikis gets turned upon by Ku, who just comes out of nothing and well, kills him.
Woolite ulting in the bot lane.
Well, this could be bad for, well, Yarnan, who goes down, and Voidal right now is still being chased. Flay comes in, as does the box. Perm just standing there, tanking up the turret. Voidal, or Woolite rather, will be picking up that kill. Ooh, snipe coming out of Voidal to pick up the return kill on Perm.
It doesn't really matter though, because 2 kills now on Woolite. This is looking dangerously reminiscent of the previous game, except that actually in this game Departed are doing better in their other lanes than they were in the previous game. So really starting to look scary with an almost impossible to 1v1 Shen with an incredibly strong sustained damage source in the form of both Kale and Vayne, and the potential to start forcing those 4-on-5 team fights from Shen, and the ability to make good engages happen if Kikis can just get one good Agony's Embrace in, this is starting to look very, very scary. However, Cloud9 do have a lot of potential themselves. They still have the picking potential from both Zed and from Kha'Zix. So we'll see what they do with that. But right now, looking scary.
Okay, so Voidal making sure Woolite doesn't get too close to the experience that he so badly needs, although he is, well, a little bit ahead of Hjarnan with the 1-kill lead that he has on him. Now he did get himself the Bilgewater Cutlass, so he is going to be able to get that extra slow in there if needed, and he is very, very close to that Blade of the Ruined King being finished off, and that is of course never nice to have on a Vayne on the enemy team.
It's especially bad if she can finish the Blade of the Ruined King while the lane is still going on. Forbidden just face planted a wall. He's in trouble.
Oh, that could be very bad for him indeed. NIQ just declining the chase in the end. He's probably just going to put some more pressure on that turn in the middle lane. Ku is there to defend it, however. And Ku is going to be fine for now as he is trying to clear out those minions as fast as he can. But NIQ is really hammering that turret down.
Yeah, indeed. That's a really unfortunate one. Odoamne has been dived here. He's being chased down.
Oh, Vorpal Blade connects. Here is Ku to make something happen. Kikis gets turned upon once again. Stand United comes down. Is it going to be enough to save him? No, it is not. Ku picks up the return kill on towards it, or just the kill on towards him. Now Babunia gets some help from NIQ, and that means that Cloud9 come out ahead.
And the very confused procession of minions can return to the lane. But right now, it's starting to look really, really bad. Departed are going to take this mid tower. They are going to be able to get the control over the next dragon. And actually, it's occurred to me, I didn't notice the first dragon being taken, or maybe I've forgotten about it. I am certainly not the brain of the operation, as Hjarnan is, but he's been caught.
Oh, once again, he has been caught. Stranglethorns comes down. Woolite out of the Stranglethorns, looking to finish off Hjarnan here. One more hit will do it. There you have it. But right now, he is in danger of dying to Voidal. Voidal, one more auto attack will do it. Oh, barrier will save him for now. Grasping Root comes in. Double kill coming in for Voidal as he finished off Perm earlier.
Yeah, and the chase in the top lane does not continue because there was a very close run battle up there as well. It does seem like Ryze will eventually be able to duel Shen in a sort of reliable and safe manner, but right now it's very down to the wire.
Oh, the Ignite is ticking on him. Babunia will be finished off by the minions in the end. Shutdown coming in for Odoamne, who is going to get the better of that trade, as he did get a 500 gold bounty. In the meantime, Ku finishing off the bottom turret, and Febiven looking to finish off that turret in the middle lane, and IQ is there to defend it.
And a very, as mentioned, a very close run fight. Forbidden going in on NIQ.
Oh, there's the Ace and O, gets blocked out by the intervention, as does the Death Mark, but NIQ nonetheless taking a whole lot of damage. Did spot out Kikis, Febiven that is, so he is going to back out with the Living Shadow, and that turret is, it might just not stand for too long at this point.
It's a dependency, really, because if Kikis can get in with an Agony's Embrace that's coming up soon, and they could follow it up with a bit of hard crowd control, they can burst down Hjarnan very easily. But with an extra man coming in the form of Voidal and a very strong counter-engager at that, it does seem like they are going to be able to continue pushing down. Wouldn't predict much more than a little bit of damage, though.
Oh, great hook on towards Hjarnan. He is going to get played back. Perm getting bursted in the meantime. Hjarnan somehow survives, and Perm goes down as a result. Woolite, rather, from the backside, looking to make something happen. But in the end, that was a great counter action coming out of Cloud9.
That was a hell of a hook, though. It's just unfortunate that chasing it down ended up working against them. So sometimes you just have to kind of let them go, and sometimes you just have to watch Vayne as she dies.
Yeah, but right now NIQ could be in trouble of dying as well, could be in danger out there of dying. He uses the intervention on himself. Kikis might be looking to chase down someone on the side of Cloud9, but again, it's 1 versus 3, and a great counter engage coming out to Voidal.
Woolite is not having a lot of luck in these fights. The last 2 fights we've seen, he's been CC'd and locked down, and that's going to continue happening so long as NIQ is not able to ult him in the fights. They've got a really, really strong team fight. If Departed gets the Stand United on Vayne and the intervention on Vayne and all these various shields and defenses on Vayne, she is going to be so free to put out so much damage across an entire fight. But the problem is at the moment they're kind of being pushed back on their heels. They keep giving up one kill here, one kill there, and being forced into these disadvantageous fights. So it now falls kind of to Departed to take a step back, take a breath, get a little bit more control over the situation that they're finding themselves in right now, and look to eventually try and get some proper team fights up with all of them available. Right now, this is a good situation though. Shen's up top. As long as they can delay this dragon, they can fight potentially.
Stand United is available, but Ku goes in on towards NIQ, uses the intervention on himself. Ace gets cancelled out. Perm is the only one to get knocked up by those Strangle Thorns, but Woolite comes in on towards the fight, does manage to get a shot down on towards that Zyra, but he is way too deep. Double kill coming in for Oduamne as they start to clean up here. Ku right now chasing on towards Kikis. Ace comes in, not going to be enough to kill him in the end. Oduamne is going to find him, however, as he finishes him off, as he did use the Agony's Embrace, not sure why, but this dragon is going over to Cloud9.
And again, what we see here is Woolite is not free to do anything in that fight. Kale got zoned out at the start and focused down. Woolite was unable to get near the fight for fear of Forbiven, and when he eventually did get near, he got bursted down almost instantly by Forbiven and Oduamne. So as a result, they lose the fight. They lose in spite of their original gold advantage, which they've now lost, and indeed are seriously bleeding a lot of gold across the board. I hadn't noticed how badly behind they were falling so quickly. But C9 are going to run out of outer towers and inner towers to take eventually, and at that point, maybe they'll be able to defend. Even then, though, it's going to be difficult because Cloud9 have better sieging, and right now, they're stronger in the teamfight too.
Ku making sure that lane in the top lane is pushed in. Babunia will be forced to defend that for now. The users Stand United in the last fight didn't work out too well for them, mainly because Woolite got bursted down so quickly after NIQ had been killed already. So good fight once again there for Cloud9 as NIQ returns to his base. And for now, a little bit of a lull in this game. No real action about to happen here just yet, probably because there aren't a lot of objectives for the taking. But for now, Cloud9 is definitely ahead by, let's say, 5,000 gold.
Yeah, and Babunia is now the subject of a chase down, forced to flash, and now going to have to try and defend his tower in a 2-on-1 situation, whilst the rest of his team is not in a position to take any advantage of the numbers gap that creates. So good play once again. Ku being in the right place at the right time. Oduamne fighting Babunia.
Yeah, Oduamne getting taunted up. Ku is still here. Could be looking to delete Perm if needed. Babunia could be a little bit too tanky for that, but Voidal is waiting around the side as well. So Voidal just going to back on off. Perm on the side could be looking for a hook or a flay, but Ku could be very, very dangerous in that case.
Yes, indeed, but there's 3 members from C9 up here. Babunia is tanky, but he's got no flash now. If he gets CC'd down, they can chain this very, very quickly. He used the dash!
Yeah, he used the dash, and that is not going to be good for him, especially because he missed it. So Ku making sure he goes down, and Oduamne picks up the kill. Cloud9 could be looking to continue the siege. Kikis is the only one to defend it alongside Perm. And Cloud9 are very, very strong at sieging at this point.
And they have a big, big chunk of burst available to them as well. If Perm is there alone, they can kill him almost instantly. But if Kikis goes for an engage, when they're too deep, this could actually be problematic. NIQ could go for the cleanup if they get this.
Oh, they get the hook in there, and there's the Agony's Embrace. Voidal just gets deleted. He does manage to get the Stranglethorns down. Ku dives in there. Perm manages to survive. There's the ace in the hole. Perm goes down. Double kill coming in for Yernan, and there is a great Root Prison with a flash coming out of Oduamne. Ku is on a rampage. Oduamne picking up that kill. 20-13. Cloud9 looking really strong.
Great reaction from Cloud9 there, and a slightly dodgy type of focus. Voidal was able to cut off half of that fight entirely, and as a result, didn't even matter that they were caught completely off guard, and they were tanking tower damage for that entire time. Cloud9 focused down the right targets at the right times, and Zyra was able to zone everyone. Woolite dead.
Yeah, he is pretty dead at this point. You can't do a whole lot against a Deathmark and a Rune Prison and a Coup stomping on your face at the same time. So Cloud9 once again picking up a kill here on towards Woolite, who is 4-4 at this point. Did finish his Blade of the Rune King, but he could be having trouble against that Deathmark and the Coup jumping all over the place.
Yeah, it's now looking really bad for Departed this game. Going to take a long time now for them to really start to ramp up. Kale is strong at this stage of the game. Vayne is strong at this stage of the game. They've both got good damage, but they haven't got out of control, ridiculous damage. They haven't got the ability to burst down Coup if he jumps in because of that damage reduction. That, in turn, is just going to make life really difficult for them. And Woolite is going to play very carefully here. He needs to get farmed, but this is dangerous.
Oh, Coup jumping on top of him, using the Void Assault and making sure Woolite has no chance of surviving this, or has he? Because Woolite is flashing out of there. Coup doesn't stop chasing here just yet, but Woolite manages to get out of there alive. He was forced to use his flash, so he might not be staying alive in the next team fight for too long.
And NIQ has been caught once again. We'll see if he survives.
Oh, he does flash in the end. There is the death sentence coming out of Perm. Doesn't quite connect, so NIQ survives as well, but that means the intervention is on cooldown, his flash is on cooldown, and that is not going to be good in another team fight if that erupts.
This is now basically a situation called hook or die for Departed. They cannot deal with this siege by clearing the waves. They don't have a Gragas, they don't have a Ziggs. If they can defend their base, and actually it looks like Cloud9 aren't going to siege, they're just going to go straight for Baron. They know they've got the vision control. Once they've got this, we are going to get back into hook or die situation, unless they can get a pick in the meantime. But even if they can, that still just delays it. Basically, they need Thresh to get a really good hook to pull someone out of position that they can burst down, and then they can break a siege and look for an engage. They still got to be careful of Zyra if they do that. But if they don't get that hook, they're going to get their towers broken down. And Kikis is trying. Yeah, no.
Oh, Coup gets a reset. Double kill coming in for him. Babunia could be the next focus for Coup. Coup just decides to switch his focus towards that red buff. He is going to take that one. And after that, Cloud9 with a Baron regen could start to siege that turret, that inhibitor turret in the middle lane. Voidal still has his Stranglethorns, huge crowd control for them, and doesn't seem like the Departed are actually going to defend this inhibitor.
But the problem is, there was no way to defend that because of the two-man disadvantage, and the Baron buff, and all the gold, and etc, etc. But now they're going to have to contend with a siege that they can't really deal with, and the pressure from the minions in the mid lane, and they're still going to be in hook or die situation. This is now to the point where it would take something pretty miraculous for C9 to lose this game. They'd have to do a series of really stupid things, and they'd have to be capitalized on really well by Departed. So this is now just a matter of watching and seeing how C9 close this out.
Okay, so Cloud9 just went back to base after finishing off the Dragon. They picked themselves up a Haunting Guise on Voido, a Last Whisper on Febiven, a Frozen Heart on Odoamne, and a Phantom Dancer on Hjarnan. That is not looking good for the Departed if it wasn't looking bad already. So Cloud9, after buying up, are probably going to look and siege for possibly the last time, or they could also be just trying to take another inhibitor down here. For now, however, it seems like they are slowly grouping up near that top lane. Coup is backing off as well, and it seems like he just finished off his Malmorpheus. And, well, they are going to hurt, to put it in a too long did not read sentence.
Yeah, it's looking bad now. I mean, I don't know what you can really do in a situation like this, because we're getting to the point where the Brain lane is probably going to be doing more damage than Woolite can do. He's a Vayne, he's managed to get through his laning phase on reasonably equal terms, but just because of the massive gold difference and the massive item difference, Caitlyn is probably going to do more damage from more range and be harder to kill with it and with a much stronger team to back her up. So Ku looking for Kikis. We'll see if he can catch this.
Fabivan gets hooked. There's the ace and all on towards Babunia, but Woolites find himself caught. Uses the Dark Passage to get out. There's one more attack out of Oduan that will do it. That is going to be the inhibitor turret at least here for Cloud9. The inhibitor doesn't seem to be standing for too long after that one. Cloud9 taking the second inhibitor of this game now, looking to switch the focus on towards those Nexus turrets. There's the Stranglethorns coming down. Perm getting jumped upon. Deathmark comes down as Febivan finishes off him. And right now, 2 Nexus turrets have fallen already. NIQ finds himself caught. Ku jumps in. Nexus is getting hammered on. This game is going over to Cloud9, and that makes it 2-1 in this series.
Yeah, really nicely played there by Cloud9, because they were falling behind early, and I was all doom and gloom for them because Departed had a really, really strong teamfight composition, but Cloud9 never let it